Right, so about us. I've been with Wood and Taylor for 10 years, but it's actually been in business for 30 years. It was my dad's business. A few of you knew he was in BNI previously, since the 90s. So we've got a long lineage of experience, and we have a client base all over the country. So we've got clients as far as West Wales and now over in Lincolnshire, which was a lot further away than I thought it was when I went over there last week. And clients from every variety of areas of business. I get asked what sort of clients I'm looking for, and it can be anybody from a small sole trader who just needs a tax return done once a year to a limited company with nearly 50 employees, which is our biggest client, that turns over a few £1,000,000 per year. So anything within that range is really within our wheelhouse within any type of industry. So what do? We do company formations. So that's useful for people looking to start new businesses, but it's also useful for people looking to incorporate. So partnerships or sole traders who are thinking about becoming limited, which is something to keep an ear out for at the moment, because with the repeal of the tax increase on limited companies, that's something that people are considering again. We obviously do tax submissions. That's VAT, self-assessment, all the different types of taxes, but also CIF, as I mentioned earlier in my 45 seconds. We do management accounts. So this is something that I like to push quite hard, because it's not something that people think they need until they need it. And it's increasingly becoming something that financial institutions ask for. If you want any kind of business loan, if you want any kind of ongoing factoring or any kind of ongoing finance, increasingly financial institutions want some kind of ongoing management reporting to check on how your business is doing, to underwrite what they're providing. And that is something that we can provide. And we provide that by linking into a business, our clients' own bookkeeping systems, and using everything within there and corresponding with either their bookkeeper or their internal accounts team to get that all set up. We also provide tax advice, so corporation tax and personal taxes as well, and obviously capital gains tax as well. Financial year-end reporting, so that is what limited companies need to do every year, and also what individuals need to do, and management accountancy advice, as I just mentioned. What makes us different from other accountants? All-inclusive fee structure. We like to quote at the beginning exactly what people are going to pay in a year for the services they need, and not have extra add-ons. I don't like to have to send additional bills out to people for adjustments that have had to be made, or forms that have had to be sent off. So I like to give an honest quote at the start, not to try to lowball and add on later, which I know other firms tend to fall into. We get to know our clients' businesses. So I wouldn't tell you, only ever speak to a partner within the business. You don't speak to a junior member of staff unless it's on small bookkeeping things and things like that. And that means that we get to know how your business is doing, which helps us link into our tax advice and our management accounting advice. Little things people don't think of telling us, which just come up in conversation as we're getting to know them, actually become very important later on. And that's something that I like to keep on top of, because something you quite often hear from people about their accountant is you only really hear from them once a year, and they don't seem to ever know what's going on unless you told them. So I like to try and take a proactive approach to my clients. We're also taking a proactive approach to changes in the industry, which I'll get onto in a moment, but there's a lot of changes coming in with tax, but there's also changes coming in sort of just within the market that I just mentioned, how more and more things are requiring management accounts. More and more people are also trading using different online products, such as Stripe and all these different payment cards, all these sort of things. And that stuff does need to be built into their accountancy systems to not mess them up later. So that's something that we take a proactive approach to, and we'll do plenty of training every year here at Wood and Taylor to make sure we're on top of all of that. And as I said, we offer more than just accountancy advice. We try to give management accountancy advice. We like to be proactive in problem solving and diagnosing, not just providing this is the way it is. Helping our clients future-proof their tax affairs. So this is surprisingly not being advertised very hard, except for by QuickBooks and a couple of other companies. But as of April next year, sole traders will still now start having to supposedly submit 4 tax returns a year under Making Tax Digital. This is something that we've known about for years, but we still don't actually have specifics on how exactly it's going to work. but we've got a pretty good idea, and I've been setting up our sole traders here at Wood & Taylor to already be ready for that with pre-built Xero and QuickBooks systems that I set up in the background when I do their year end. So hopefully when April 2023 comes around, we can just flick the switch and that's all on and they're all ready, and they don't have to suddenly adjust their entire way of working. And that's been something I've been really trying to push for the past couple of years, and hopefully it's going to show dividends, because still finding a surprising number of people that don't know that it's coming, and that their accountant hasn't advised them on that it's coming and what to do to get ready for it, because this might be the end of anyone who keeps their sole trader records on paper. It's all going to have to be digital from next year, with some people, some elderly people supposedly not having to do it, but we'll see. I like to talk about this a lot, but management accounts are now available for most businesses. So things like profit and loss comparisons for different months, tracking particular products and how they're selling. All of these types of things used to be far outside of what small businesses could afford, because you'd have to spend a long time setting it up and pay somebody to keep on top of it. And with modern technology like Xero and QuickBooks, you can actually do it in a pretty cost-effective manner, where most of it's automated, and you'll only possibly need to talk to your accountant either once a quarter or once a month, depending on how you set it up, for half an hour to really get into what you need. This really helps with things like cash flow forecasts. That's becoming a big topic at the moment, with a lot of people's debts increasing, year-to-date profits, their debtors, and also picking up on little problems that get away from people, including their debtor book increasing. That's people taking longer to pay them. You can actually track that and diagnose contacts within their client book who are more guilty of it than others, and try to take proactive measures to try and bring that in, which can help with cash flow and help with problems like that. Changing data capture technology has also made bookkeeping in general just easier, so we can help them get set up, help people who come to us get set up with bookkeepers to get everything remote, get everything digitized, so we can provide this higher level information for them when they need it, or more often they need it, so they keep on top of things. And as I say, we help our clients transition their internal systems away from decades-old software or even paper, and get them into the 21st century. It's very easy now, and it's very affordable, and I recommend that every business do it. I'm going to skip this example because I'm running out of time, but ideal referrals, construction contractors talked about today, businesses who want to move away from the just even once a year service level with their accountant, who want something more ongoing, new startups who need assistance, and growing businesses that need monthly financial data. So any questions?
If we could have a show of hands, please. Any questions for Marcus? I've got one to start off with, Marcus, yes. And that is, you've mentioned startup businesses and small limited companies. Now, I'm not going to hold you to account over this at all, but just to give us an idea, where do your fees and charges sort of start broadly for the services that you offer, please?
So we now have a micro business that trades under £30,000 turnover a year fee structure, which starts at £600 for a limited company. This is per year. That's for limited companies, not sole traders. For very small sole traders who are very only started and they're only going to be turning over £10,000 a year, it can be as low as £240 per year.
And for that, you deal with HMRC for them as well?
We deal with HMRC for them. We build in an hour's worth of, well, not an hour, an hour's worth of consultation and phone calls throughout the entire year. It's not just all at once.